Shamans. We understand, cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
And good morning. I was like a little worried there. He's like, I was watching the count and had the numbers in my head. Hey, we're back. We've been gone for a while.
No, we haven't.
Oh, I have.
That's a myth.
I've been gone for 2 weeks. 3 weeks?
So have I.
Almost
I think
3 weeks.
No, you've been gone 3 weeks. Yeah,
3 weeks,
Adam and I
yes.
did the show, and last week was a bye week.
And Adam's not going to be here next week because he's on a cruise.
Is it a high-tech cruise?
I'm a hoity-toity cruiser.
Adam's going to be cruising there.
He'll have my ties. We should make him zoom in.
Ah.
That's what we should
hell
do.
yeah.
Yeah, let him get up zooming in from the cruise.
That sounds like fun.
Hi, I'm
You
double
do that.
fisting. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. No. Don't mind the lobsters. It's all good. Yeah, good morning, everybody. We're back. Hey.
Welcome back to Tech Shamans.
So, gosh, I haven't teched in a weekend in 3 weeks.
Wow.
I know.
Good for you.
I know. Well, no, I've been building. So
Yeah. Well,
Wood tools.
construction technology.
Construction. Yeah.
It's been too cold to tech, that's all.
Oh, dude, this weekend was absolutely
not brutal?
perfect.
Well, yeah.
I mean, perfect.
Sunday, by midday.
The weather on Saturday was a little
No,
sketchy.
just let the I let the rain go through, and then next thing you know, we're out
Yeah,
working.
that was the wind that got us.
I dropped off a camper.
Weather, wind.
I know one thing, man. Ocala they got whooped.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm not
man,
surprised.
I was at Ocala, and all the way. I drove up 19. I was going up to Hits up there, the horse training grounds.
Yep.
And man, we go. There's that one canal that you go over that's government made, blah blah blah, and there's 2 RV parks. And as you come up, all the fire trucks are over there, and then I mean, it looked like literally someone just went in there with like if you had hair and went like this while all the trees just laid
Well, we had
over.
tornado
Jeez.
warnings.
It was crazy.
Yeah, all morning, and it wasn't very bad at our house, but it wasn't very good either.
Right.
I've still got a lot of stuff under cover and everything. The covers went away, and now everything's soaked, so I got to deal with all that.
I didn't get any of that.
Yeah,
No rain. No, nothing. I mean, not one thing
we had
came
high
down.
winds and rain,
Yeah, we had
which
a
is
lot of
funny
rain.
because we only live about 5 miles from each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hey, that's what
Yeah.
the boys said. The boys said, "Well, it was raining." And I'm like, "It rained." I mean, we got some
Yeah.
rain, we got some wind.
I mean, I missed
but we
it.
didn't
I was in the
get-
shower while it rained. Amy told me about it when I came out.
It was like quick.
Oh yeah,
done.
it was fast moving.
No, I
storm.
did wake up at was it 6 a.m. I was up at 6, and the old saying, red
Red in the morning, sailor take
warning. Man, this was the eeriest pink red I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I deal with the water a lot, or used to, not anymore. Water and electronics don't work.
That's a no fun.
But anyway,
Yeah.
good morning.
He had to give up
morning.
one.
Meanwhile,
Stop drinking water. He doesn't bathe. You don't do nothing.
Water and electronics.
yeah, you notice how far we sit from him when we're on the
There's
show.
a barrier
Yeah.
right here and a barrier
Oh,
right
I
here.
wish.
But anyway, good
So-
morning. Welcome to Tech Shamans. I know you guys are listening to us rambling on here. So we're going to jump into this first story is kind of funny because if you see the truck, I would say it was a fail on the trucks, period. But the EPA tells the U.S. Postal Service that its future EV plan isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Where did we get that truck? Is that China? Or Yugoslavia?
No, it's China. No, the issue
that is
is
ugly.
they've been given a directive by the EPA, but as with all directives, one of the problems with the post office is they aren't technically a government agency.
That's correct.
And so if, being given a directive to do something doesn't mean that you're given the money to do it. And
Sneeze button.
in order to change over their fleet to electric vehicles, they have the problem of there aren't enough charge stations. So these trucks only have like a 200, 250 mile range, and which means probably about 175 to 200 practical range if you add a hill into anywhere in your territory.
I don't know if Rob can show the picture on this, but if you look at the crucial loss opportunity for the postal fleet picture, and it's the second picture over, Rob, on the website. There's no way that their EV can handle. I mean, it's got so let's read it here. It's got forward collision warning. It's got airbag, which is normal. Air conditioning, which that kills it right there. Blind spot warnings, which these are all electrical. That means that these are all stuff that's going to
they're all going to draw down your battery.
Telematics compatible, which means it's trackable, so you know where it's at, right? 360-degree camera, a backup camera, a walk-in cargo area access, which is just a front and rear bumper sensors, automatic front rear braking, slide doors, and automatic electronic parking brake. You would think if you're going to have an electrical vehicle, one of the manual things that you would want would be a manual brake.
Yeah, because if you're going to have something go wrong, you want to be able to grab that emergency brake and make that happen.
Well, if you're on the dirt roads and you want to slide,
See, you got the EV battery that'll run the drivetrain, but then they're just going to put a regular 12-volt battery in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's
gasoline motor.
No, that's what a Prius does.
Oh, look, that's Oshkosh.
I mean, and that would make sense to do a hybrid. I could see doing these as a hybrid. That would work well, really increase the gas mileage. The problem is, if you do any research on this stuff, you realize that there's a little issue. The batteries and everything else that go into it make the environmental impact, the hard environmental impact, significantly higher on these EVs or even hybrids. I saw one research study where you would have to drive your Prius for 11 years before it had a lower environmental impact than a Yaris, a similar Yaris with a gas engine. And the problem is, in those 11 years, your batteries go.
Don't you drive a Prius?
Yes, I do. And
I'll stick to my
I
Hummer.
find all this stuff out afterwards. Okay,
Yeah.
but it turns out. But I mean, look, I can't beat the 50 miles to the gallon
That
right
is true.
now. Okay,
So are
now
they,
that's a huge difference.
since they're going to a bigger vehicle, are they going to try to give UPS and FedEx and all those guys a kind of a bigger run for their money? Because, I mean, normally the Jeeps that they drive, I think they're Jeeps. They're the
Yeah, they
tiny
used to be,
little
yeah.
boxes that
Yep.
hold the mails. It looks like to me they may be getting into bigger package delivery type
and
style.
I think that's probably hence the walk-in cargo area in the back. I know that they have been running double trips in the post office vehicles in my neighborhood when there are packages that have to come out.
Right.
So, you're
Separate
talking about
delivery
running
service.
a separate delivery. So they would be kind of smart, even if you just put a really good, efficient gas engine into this thing, to make this be your new vehicle.
If you look at there's a side version of this thing it's huge and it looks like it's got 13-inch tires.
Yeah, well,
That is just
that is probably
nothing like a rollover
really,
waiting to happen.
really going to happen.
And are they going to give this to Betty that's out in the farmland that's been using her own vehicle to deliver mail
Well,
for the last 20
No,
years?
they'll give her the old Jeep.
The 13-inch wheels are probably easier for that motor to spin up.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it can definitely
Yeah,
carry
but weight
more
load's
torque.
weight load.
But which gives it torque.
Yeah, but
You
it's,
can put whatever tire you want there if you're going to load this thing down to where it weighs 10,000 pounds.
yeah,
because
but
you got
it's a
crap
lot of
back
stop,
there.
lot of stop and go.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
no,
there's
you
not-
want the smaller tires for that. It gives you more torque. And so,
See, I don't know nothing about
on
electrics,
low
so
speed, it'll give you more
Not
torque.
interested.
So that makes sense.
Biden will never push
But
me into an electric.
on the other
Except
hand, the fact is,
Tesla
I mean,
truck. I'd buy
mandating
the
it's
Tesla
supposed to
truck.
happen
Just 'cause it's
and
cool.
actually have it
It's
happening are
whatever.
two entirely different things. So the post office has disappointed the EPA with their reality-based, that's not going to happen response
Right.
to the mandate.
Right.
So there's that one.
So, Elon,
Yeah.
gotta love Elon.
Yeah.
I don't care how much. Some people just make fun. He's, and I'm gonna get mail for this. Elon is like Trump,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometimes he just says the dumbest things.
But sometimes he
But
says the
that's-
smartest things.
But most of the time,
yeah.
it's the smart things. Okay,
Yeah.
so Elon Musk issues important warning about the systems he
Yes.
deployed to Ukraine, right?
Yeah. And this is like, honestly, this warning is like, the coffee cups at McDonald's that now have to say, caution, beverage is hot, do not spill it on your groin, dumbass. Okay? This is that warning. It's like, I gave you guys all these, Starlink
Right.
internet, connection portals. That's really great, but somebody can track them, and so don't sit there and keep using them, ad infinitum in order to Netflix stream, because you're painting a target on your butt,
Right.
and that's probably not a great idea.
No.
So he
That's-
just warned people that if you're using the internet, you're going to be detectable.
And he's going to bring, and I guess there's more terminals that are coming for him.
Yep.
So how
Yeah,
are they getting
he's-
them in there?
Trucks.
And they're letting trucks through with that kind of stuff. I thought Russia was pretty much
No,
shutting down the
Russia
borders.
doesn't control. No. Well, at the time this was written,
Right.
which was several days ago,
Right.
they still had very active convoy paths through a lot of it. Now, there are certain cities that are, blocked off, and
Right.
there are rumors about what's going on with
You gotta
that,
parachute
but
'em in.
God only knows. Yeah.
There'll be airdrops.
Yeah.
Catch
They'll be
it.
satellite dropped. They'll just fire down, and then they'll be deemed to be nuclear weapons, and Russia will launch. So there we have it.
I mean,
That's what we're heading
hey,
for.
I didn't ask Dylan this morning about this.
Mm-hmm.
I guess is the Ghost Rider flight guy still blowing up stuff? That dude was taking stuff out of the air, and
I haven't heard anything about
yeah,
him.
No one knows
since,
who he
yeah.
was.
I did see one picture where somebody had nicely photoshopped Donald Trump's picture into
that's
into the jet. It was great.
But so you hear on all the news stations, oh well, they're Russia's, and I am in no way, shape, or form on Russia's side on this. So, they're killing, they're killing citizens and blah blah blah, and and I'm like, yeah, because the citizens are now becoming the army.
Yeah.
They're throwing Molotov cocktails
Yeah.
and they're shooting and stuff like that. Yeah, of
Bombing
course.
children's hospitals, probably not
Yeah, because
justified.
those little kids can handle an AR now. So
Well, of course they can. ARs are
the new
made
ARs
tiny.
are so
I
light.
know.
And they're really good. So
Yeah, it's highly efficient.
yeah, it's
No,
kickback,
and
kids.
there's so much conflicting information coming out of there, and now we have. Well, we'll get down to that story. Oh, that is story number 3.
Yeah, YouTube bans
There it is.
denying, minimizing, and trivializing well-documented violent events about Russian-Ukraine war.
Yes. So if you say the wrong thing over here about it, then you're going to have happen to you what Putin did to people saying the wrong thing
Okay.
over there.
Let me play devil's advocate.
That
on
makes us much better. We have the moral
Yeah,
high
yeah,
ground
I
on
know.
that one.
Well, but I'm going to play the devil's advocate on this. Okay,
be my
so
guest.
it's not the fact that they're on Russia's side or stuff like that. It's just the fact that what people have been posting goes against their policies and their terms of services. So that's why they're doing it. It's not like they're being dicks and
How
going,
does minimizing something or questioning the existence of an event or an occurrence?
But they're not questioning it. They're just taking it down.
No.
taking it all
That's not what I'm saying. If that's what the video is questioning something. Okay, like you get
I don't
this.
know. I didn't get to see it because it got taken down.
got taken down. Exactly. I mean, there's one out
America,
now
hell
where
yeah.
where Zelensky's walking through a hospital, like on the front lines, and he's in there visiting people, and yesterday
They don't want people
and
seeing
then
people dying.
Well, no, I
And
mean he's just
bloodied.
in the hallway with someone, but then somebody pulls up and finds out that the doctor standing next to him died in February. So this is an old picture.
Yeah,
But if you question that,
don't question it.
you're off the air.
Yeah, but if they take the videos down, if they do all this stuff and start censoring it out, then you got the people that are posting it, they have something they'll be like, oh, it got taken down, and now people wonder, oh, there's a conspiracy theory going on or something's going on. That's
Yeah.
next thing you know, people get riled up and they start getting angry about something that may or may not be there because they never got
The
to see
bottom line is,
Yeah.
it really bothers me. I think Rob even said it this morning, his fact that, everybody wants to go back, free speech, free speech. Well, first of all, it's their platform. There's no such thing as free speech on their
Exactly.
platform.
Anywhere.
They can do whatever they want to do because you're not paying them to have that service. Now, the minute you want to go to them and pay them so they can't do it, well, that's different. Then you can go to them and say, hey, look,
Then you
I'm
have a
paying you
contract.
to be my
Right.
my media outlet, so you can't take that down.
Right. Then you have a contractual agreement.
I don't know. I just
They
did the same thing.
the
during all
other-
the
well-
global warming crap and Trump won crap and all that kind of stuff. That's people get out of hand.
There is
COVID
there is another
COVID
factor
crap.
here, though, that's coming into play on this issue, and that is what they are not allowed to do is do it at the behest or direction of a government agency.
that they're not, but that's not what's going on.
So we're being
So
sure.
we're being told we wouldn't know because
Unfortunately,
there's no
it's
video.
Again, I'll go
'Cause
back.
there's no video.
Right, I can't see it. I can't tell you if it is or isn't. But the
Way to
bottom
go,
line, it's
Google.
their platform. They can do what they want to with it.
Absolutely.
We just play in their sandbox when they allow us. So
And so when they take this program off the air because we,
Just
said
talked
things,
about it.
yeah,
They-
there we have it. It's their platform.
we'll see if it happens.
Yeah.
I don't think
And,
it'll
and I think that's the thing that everybody forgets about is that
their
you're
platform.
playing in somebody else's
Sandbox.
Sandbox, yes.
Sure.
When it comes
Yeah.
to Zuckerberg's Meta or any other platform
That's
out
right.
there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their platform.
you're bound by their rules,
Yeah.
and if they don't want to show you or allow you to do something, they can just take it away. It's
I mean,
just that simple.
It's like, and now they're slowly removing the followers and likes
Yes.
from your business pages. I'm not sure if we're going to on
The visibility
on
of them.
yeah. So
No more likes. Now it's follows because likes are detrimental to your human
well,
psyche.
you don't want it's like shaming.
It's like
I
shame.
get more likes than you do, so I'm better.
My
than
business
you.
page is better than you because
Oh,
more people
yeah,
like
right.
it.
Yeah, they're more liking
But
it.
it's no different than a bunch of people following it.
Really, and I thought it had to do with how many people were actually watching a certain politician's presidential addresses. Oops, I may have violated something there.
So this next thing we're going
Yeah,
into.
next. What we
So this one, okay, and this one, this is a deeper dive here than just what's on here, but the cybersecurity stocks and new defense industry, right? Silicon Empire reworked its offerings to better react to threats in real time. So they're really stepping up the point where we know, how to deal with.
No.
I don't think so.
No, I think they're just going ahead and turning their monitoring services over to the Department of Defense and saying, look, I got this, sign me a contract, because now there's more focus on it.
Right.
So, it's not like they've created something new that's going to be able to do something better. It's just that there's more focus now, renewed focus on, cybersecurity. And so, these guys are probably want to cash in, this is a great opportunity. We could sell them a product that, we've always had.
It's always been here.
It's always been here. We've always been doing it. So, but you guys need it.
Okay, so my thing is because now, and again, and I know you don't like getting political, but unfortunately sometimes it's political runs the world, that this morning they're talking that now Russia has gone to China and said, hey, we need some money because they're not doing well. Sanctions are kind of
Wonder how
working,
that
right?
happened, yeah.
So now they're going, hey, China, won't you help us out? And especially they're wanting drones, right? So if my biggest worry, and I'm gonna get there. This is a big rabbit trail. My biggest worry is we've already had tons and tons and tons and tons of cyber attacks from Russia and cyber attacks from China. Here's something funny.
North Korea.
And Ukraine.
Yes.
Tons of hackers from Ukraine.
Yes.
So I'm like, wow, man, we're trying to help people out that actually hack us. But anyway, my point is, it worried me a little bit. So I get on the phone with with our hosting, which is GoDaddy, and we love GoDaddy. And I said, hey, I know I'm probably a worrywart, and I need to ask this question: how good is the back end for GoDaddy to better protect our websites? And the guy goes, well, let me look what server you're on. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, next thing you know, he goes, well, on your server, you're not protected at all. And I'm like, what? He said, because we've been sending you emails. And then he goes, and have you ever noticed at the top of when you log in, it says it's time for you to get off the server? He says, because it is a G3. They're
you need
G3.
to be on the G4.
And he goes, so you need to get off that. So I started the whole migration of getting off, and I'm saving some more money, which is even awesomer. But yeah, so, they're like people that are sitting on these old servers and all these guys, well, I've got my server at my house. Well, you're the first person that they're going to take out.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, it really started making me think heavy about what we have backing myself up, right? And of course, you go to a different server, they're like, well, and it doesn't come with this, and it doesn't come with this, and you got to go buy this, and you got to go buy that. And I'm like, okay. Matter of fact, I have to go get the license for Installatron. And they don't do the backup thing they used to do on this server. Now I have to back it up to either a G drive, or I just got to go manually back up offsite so I can just keep it offsite.
Right.
So, yeah. But yeah, it really made you go, am I safe? Am I safe? Because, once you're on the internet, it's like you said earlier, once you're on the internet, you're a target.
Yeah, you're a target.
Period.
I mean, look at Elon Musk. He said, get on the internet with my stuff. You're a target.
You're a target. It's kind of the way it is.
That's a very different kind of
You're
target.
a literal target.
You're like, a missile target with him. With your own, website, whatever you have, you are ending up being a cyber, malware
So
target.
that means we are in the Matrix.
We've been in the Matrix. We're all batteries. So, Rob, I'm going to jump down to 7 real quick.
Yeah,
because
that ties right in with this.
Because this ties,
exactly.
why banks and NATO are worrying about a future of quantum attacks.
Yes.
Which is exactly what I'm talking about. Even when you start seeing the banks go, maybe we need to tighten up security a little bit.
Right. Well, with the quantum attacks are, people utilizing possible quantum computing to be able to
which we don't know it exists yet, and
Well, isn't
the
that the
closest
world of
time frame is
blockchain?
2 to 3 years.
Kinda. Don't they live in the same world?
Now, blockchain is a case of using everybody's servers as like as its own ID tag, whereas with quantum computing, you're talking about a completely new kind of processor.
Yeah.
That runs at a million times faster than anything we have now.
Theoretical code that doesn't exist and exists. And
Right.
Yeah, and
space time
so
continuum.
the thing about that is because it's so fast,
Yeah.
it can do a brute force attack on your website and find your password. Okay.
Without forcing.
Well, that's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm going. So if we're like, say, take
Yeah.
blockchain, a single computer by itself can only do so much. But a blockchain,
Right.
when you get multi-computers, millions of computers across the planet all
Yeah.
working together, you're getting into that trying to achieve a quantum style. I mean, it's not the quantum, but but you're taking one big mesh network across the world.
It's like the 5E setting
Right.
on your
So-
phone, okay? No, it's really not
5E.
5G, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
It's 5 enabled.
4G LTE.
So basically, we're trying to make all the computers aware.
So
Well, and this is what gets me is this kind of computing really is Skynet.
Scott, yeah.
Skynet.
That's what they're talking about. And it'll be able to analyze all of your behaviors, all of your passwords, all of your everything, every file you have anywhere, and bring it all together because it'll be so big, so fast, it'll finally be able to compare to the neural network you have in a human brain.
That's what I say. Mine's all right here. Good luck. Get in there, mister. And then trust me, it will scare
It
you
will.
to death.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
here's my ultimate on my point though. So if we do get into quantum, if we do get into the heavy duty blockchains, whole nine, if they turn that around and do a massive cyber attack against that, that'll just clean everybody out.
Yes.
It's gone.
That's, I mean, imagine, we lost Facebook for, a couple hours and everybody, lost their crap.
Do you remember that? Oh my God, the world was coming to an
I
end.
actually saw a meme that said, "Mommy, where were you the day Facebook died?"
Yeah.
But this is, but we're talking about stuff going down and staying down,
Right.
not coming down.
So
Period.
how are they? So my question is how do they think they're going to be able to stop something like that?
Well, they have to use quantum computing to beat quantum computing. So it's a race to see who gets it first
Right.
in order to create the necessary encryption to actually find a way. And honestly, the right way to do it is to have a human element, your two-factor authentication. That works, except for the fact that it's a computer using software that is sending out your two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
So this thing is so big and so fast, it would be able to catch that signal and input. So you've got to find some other way of humanizing something offline, and it may be that you need to keep your passwords on a yellow legal pad, because
And write it in cursive. They'll never know what it is.
exactly. Nobody under 30 can read
The
it.
guy's programming and be like, what is this cursive?
The hell is this
This
hieroglyphics?
is like hieratic or
What?
something. Yes.
Jeez, I
Yeah.
don't know what this is.
Yep.
Yeah, it's scary because, maybe we build tin hats or aluminum foil hats for our computers.
That, and because the
Right?
Wi-Fi will still get through. Oh. You can unplug
The
it, you can do
Wi-Fi
all
will
you
still get
want,
through.
but
Turn
yeah,
the Wi-Fi on.
it's like
Remember the
Skynet
days
is everywhere.
when we used our computers as computers and they actually worked as computers, not Pornhub surfers?
Yes, I remember that.
Just saying.
It was just this morning.
No. No. Wow. Well, there you
I
have
used it to write something,
Right?
actual
no
type
internet.
stuff out.
So if you want something,
Yeah.
the old days of when we remember gaming, we used to put the little, we'd blow the cartridge off,
Yeah.
or my kids wouldn't. They'd put it
Well,
in there and it
yeah.
would work again until it heated up.
I'm going
Get in
back
and
to
blow it
like
off again.
90, 91 when I had that Moonlander or whatever it was game on my 286. That was fun.
That was fun.
With the amber
I
screen.
remember those.
Oh, yeah. We remember those amber because it was easier on your eyes than green. Yeah.
All right. Well, talking about things that don't want to make you kill yourself, there's actually a new app out,
Yeah.
right? I hate,
Yep.
I hate when they tell me to allow.
I know.
There's a mobile app that may offer support for those at risk of suicide.
Yes.
That's to me, this is pretty cool.
It is, yeah, it's tracking behaviors, certain behavior patterns that that give rise or indicate, a parallel behavior to people who are about to, die by suicide. They're about to attempt suicide. And this is
So does it? What does it do? I tried to read a little more into it, and it didn't go super deep. So
Yeah.
my questions does it look at the songs that you're playing? Does it look at your tweets? Does it look at
Yeah,
your
I think
messages?
No, it's actually biometric. It goes
Oh.
deeper than that.
So you
it
have to
looks
wear
at it looks at heart rate. It looks at
you're wearing a smartwatch or
pulse
something.
variability. It looks at all these different factors, as well as how much you're standing up, how much you're moving around, how a lot of factors involved in there. And then if your searches include
So it is
what's the
looking at
better
your-
gun? No, I'm kidding about that part. What's the better gun to shoot myself with? I mean, but that's kind of the clincher on it. No, but there are a lot of biometric factors
But how's it?
that match up.
Are you wearing a watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Yeah. The watch is the source of almost everything right now. I mean, the way all these apps cross-reference with each other is crazy. They will
Is the power.
track. When I mean, I get mine saying, "Oh, congratulations, you stood up 12 hours in a row."
Right.
And it's like,
Sit down,
And
you
then-
fat bastard.
yeah,
You're
it's like-
right.
So
Stop eating.
So it's able to monitor, basically fine motor,
Right.
movements, and through that, it's finding parallels. I mean, Facebook has a 51-point algorithm that they use to clone audiences, and this is not terribly dissimilar. They're cloning people who die by suicide, and they're cloning their behaviors and their
So it's AI.
their biometric scanning. It's
Okay.
pretty complex algorithm.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it really is.
As long as you wear a watch, I mean, the phone itself can't tell you.
But then again, I'm out, working out in the yard, and my watch goes off and says, "Did you just fall? Do you want me to call 911?" And I'm like, "No, I'm pounding a nail in, and I decided to use my left hand with the hammer." And, so you get that.
Right.
On the other hand...
Or you're dangling from a tree.
On the other hand, you have the phone.
On the other hand, literally, do I really want to get a message that says, "Hey, are you trying to kill yourself?" Which could be a legit question if I'm on like a really crazy horse, but it's not going to be detecting it that way.
They would know. They would know if it's just the phone though, because the phone would know how you're holding it and caressing it. If you're very aggressive to the phone would go
Siri
off.
talks you down.
Siri's talking you down. It's okay.
Come off the ledge, Anthony.
It's okay, John.
It's not worth it, Anthony.
Jump for joy.
It'd be like mine be like jump, dare you,
Double dog dare you.
dare you, jump. Yeah.
No,
You ain't got
I'm telling you,
You don't
to
have
jump.
You don't have the guts.
You don't have the guts. Yeah. So yeah. But it is a good. I mean, I sent that to. I actually sent that to our show that does because anything that we can do to help people not do that. That's
a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Yep.
Absolutely. So so I got this. I don't know if I'm not sure if I put this in here. I may have because I was on a sharing spree the other night.
Yeah, this was pretty cool stuff.
Tokamak Energy. Is that Tokamak?
Yeah.
Tokamak Energy achieves temperature threshold for commercial fusion.
Yes, we reached the temperature, and we were able to stabilize it for 0.5 seconds.
Yes, but you're talking 180 million degrees Fahrenheit.
I know.
Literally, 180 million degrees Fahrenheit.
We've reached
I don't care how long you were able to, sustain it. If it's not exploding and it's not melting the UK, because this is a university, this is Oxford, okay, then that's a hell of a win. It's taken 75 years to get there.
You ready for this? Aliens come to visit our solar system and say, "This is a very odd system. There's two suns encircling it."
Suns.
Yeah,
And
but that one over there is just powering what's that? YouTube videos? What are they doing? I mean, TikTok.
What stops? What would stop it from the reaction from just continuing on and growing?
Well, that's the point. It's stabilized. It needs fuel.
So that was one of the big misnomers about them trying to find the God particle in the collider.
Yeah.
Is they were afraid that potentially they could produce a black hole.
Correct.
Right.
And start swallowing the Earth.
Yeah, the Earth will suck on itself.
So really, what?
Well, there was only like a 1
Oh,
in
we have
4
it in a glass
chance of that
case. It's
happening.
okay.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's bulletproof.
It's in a glass case that only light cannot escape.
Right. God. Could you imagine that? Earth ending today by a black hole.
Yeah,
Now, who says it's going to end?
Except
it
the
may
radio
just pull in
waves
on
to
itself
get
and we
that.
may wind up in another dimension.
We all
fifth
flip
dimension.
inside out.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not even fun to visualize.
terrifying,
Thank you.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That is really terrifying.
I often wondered what my appendix looked like. Thank you.
So what was that movie? Oh yeah, the girls Ghostbuster. So they're okay, right? Yeah, their bodies are inside out. They're okay, right? They live. Everybody's just fine. It's an
Didn't
alternate
see it yet.
universe,
Didn't
right?
see it yet.
That's
Okay.
Old. It's old. You got to watch it. Anyway, so it is actually very cool. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean the fact they achieved it's putting it on the table now. That if we can do this, if we can harness actual fusion instead of fission, which is fusion is where we merge together
Yep.
and create energy, as opposed to fission, which is what we've always been doing, which is splitting them apart, and we lose a couple electrons here and there, and with that we're able to blow up Hiroshima. Just as a side note, the amount of matter that was actually consumed to produce the Hiroshima bomb was a gram, the weight of one paperclip.
yeah,
That's what it took.
it's crazy.
So, yeah, because E equals MC squared, where C is the speed
So
of
we're
light.
going to jump over 5 ways. You're really the expensive phone, laptop back, and we're going to let you talk about Google isn't the cake,
Yep.
it's the frosting.
Okay, so we're going to skip over that one and go to Google? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to go to Google.
Yeah,
So
this
tell me
was-
why it's the frosting, and it better be buttercream or what's the other one that's really good? Cream cheese.
Cream
The
cheese
rest of
frosting
it,
is
the rest
good.
of it
Yeah,
can be just
yeah.
thrown away.
I like to make Devonshire cream myself. I was in a meeting last week with a bunch of people, and it's a group meeting. One of their group benefits is that they will, give you a bunch of backlinks and everything to your website, and it really helps your, as they say, SEO. We all know that, SEO is what you do when you first set up your website. It's your engine optimization. It's basically, building the engine and giving it a tune-up so that's that. But it does nothing to help your search results. You need search results optimization. And Google used to weigh very heavily, what are called backlinks.
Okay, I'm going to pause you there real quick.
Go right
Here's
ahead.
something funny. The only people that use the SRO is us until the other day.
What'd you hear?
I was watching online. I was watching TikTok. Whew, God have mercy. Worst thing ever.
And that's why we have the dividers.
Yes. But the guy on there was out of California, and he literally said the words SRO. And he used it the same way I'm like, well, how about that? We're not the only bunch of crazy guys.
No,
Anyway.
no, there are definitely more crazy guys.
All right, go ahead. Continue on.
Thank you. But what you're really doing is looking to increase your search results. Okay, get yourself closer to the spot one on page one. And the problem is too many people. If you ever have anybody tell you, oh, we can go ahead and make that happen, and we can do that for you, and we'll charge you X amount, and we'll do it with backlinks. I don't care. Don't. Because Google eventually catches up. That is technically a black hat technique. And it doesn't matter how legit the organization is. It doesn't matter, how great your website is. Imagine you put all this work and you have legit organic SRO, and I'll get to that in a second. And you've also participated in this group thing. There's a very good chance that in, not this week, not this month, but maybe, 6 months from now or a year from now or 2 years from now, the algorithm is going to go, oh, look at all these people scamming our algorithm. We delist you, and you're gone. Okay, because you were engaging in black hat techniques. No, the goal is not to go out there and target your SRO. You actually should not be doing that in any kind of paid sort of funky way. Anything that isn't you actually creating organic content on your website that answers the questions that your customers might be asking, period. So however you want to do that, okay, creating blog posts, creating video, feeds with the content underneath it that backs it up. If you're looking for specific driving keywords, then the best way to achieve that is by creating multiple blog posts within your own website that point to a specific page that answers that question, period. And make that the goal. Those are called internal links. Mm-hmm. Google, a few years ago, put those on equal footing. This tells you a lot about where their brain is going. They went from internal links being 0 to internal links being over 50% of their driving. Those external links are going to go away in their importance, and they're giving you the power to build and control your own website that actually answers the questions, because that is their goal. That's the goal of all the search engines, is to send people to the right place the first time. And so if you've got anything on there that is not actually answering that question, and we've all gone to the websites, it's like, oh, I need to know whether I'm going to be, if this is the right way to plug a microphone into an Android phone. Okay, John was just going through that.
Yep.
If this is the right, how many did you have to go through that had that in their keywords, but then when you went in there, they were just trying to sell you a different kind of microphone, or they're trying to tell you how to
8 or 9.
8 or 9 video. Yeah, those are all people that are not answering the actual question, although they put it in their keywords, and they're winning.
Right.
And that is what is going to drive Google to say, no, I don't care how many backlinks you have. I don't care. The people who are coming here are then coming back to us and saying, no, wrong answer. Let me go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one.
Right.
The one you finally stay on, listen to, read, and click around within that site, that is the one that they go, this has the right answer.
Yep.
Let's make this number 1 next time. And that's what's important. And that is not going to happen from fake backlinks. I don't care how good the organization is or how reputable, that is going to come back and bite you. But here's where the title comes from. Google is the icing, not the cake. That content that you're creating, that's what you're really using for all your marketing. That's what you're promoting. That's what you're sending out there.
Right.
With us, when we create somebody's program for them, or they come in for one of our, multiplayer episodes,
Right.
where they get their, 10, 11-minute segment, they then take that's content. They then take that content, they put it on their websites, they put it out there in the social media so it can be seen, so it can drive people back. And then when they come back to your website, that's when your website then engages them and does all the things you needed to do in order to make the sale. And if in doing all of that with your content, you end up driving yourself to the top of the rankings in Google, that is a bonus. That is free leads. I was talking with a potential client several months ago, and this was horrifying. They were paying for AdWords, and they had been doing it for 3 years. This was back at the beginning of COVID. And they were paying $7,000 a month.
Oh, God have mercy.
$84,000 a year for 3 years, $250,000 in AdWords. Okay, they had been spending in order to get attention and get, click-throughs from Google. They cut it cold turkey because of COVID. And they braced. They were ready with layoffs. They were ready with everything. And nothing happened. Their organic SRO was so strong, Google wasn't doing anything for them
Right.
that they hadn't already done for themselves. And that is a huge difference. The fact is, there is no reason for you to ever pay for keyword marketing. You really don't need to. There are ways, and we can help you with it, okay, that you can find, attack, and attract. And no, we're not using the acronym for that. The FAT method. No, that's no good. No, because it'd be FAA.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Attack. I went with a T.
It's fat. Not PHAT either.
Yeah. No, it's just FAA, which I think is taken by another agency. But that's the point, is if you're paying for SEO services, give us a call, okay? Because you're probably throwing money away.
Right.
And I don't care if they're telling you they're getting links, you're getting clicks from it. Because how many times have we seen, I love this. I ran an ad campaign, and Facebook's telling me they had 76 clicks on my link in my ad. And I go back and I look at the website, and there were 21. There were 21 clicks on the link. Facebook is telling me there were 79. It's like, excuse me? Okay, now, I know my analytics on my website are correct, and I'm glad I'm not paying you by the click on this particular campaign, because that would be fraud, big time. So that's where we're at, and that's what I just wanted to let people know is, build it organically, and if you need help, we can definitely help you with that.
There's that word, organic.
Organic,
Organic.
just like my food.
Yeah. So hey, Rob, we're going to jump down to 12.
Organic.
I think Adam put this one in there. Scientists discover promising new electrolyte for solid-state lithium-ion batteries.
Yes.
This looks cool.
Did they?
They did. It's supposed to be a combination of like a mixture of lithium.
Yeah, talk into that thing, or no one's going to hear you.
Why? Why?
Just saying.
Why?
Well, who
Why-
wants to
why is
hear
it-
it? That's the
he's-
question.
this guy.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of lithium and a bunch of other chemicals, and
Cadmium
compounds,
and
and all sorts
a
of
lot of rare
fun
earth
stuff
minerals.
to create a true solid state battery.
Right.
That's going to be able to withstand, a lot of discharge, recharges, a lot of cycles, and also have the capacity to hold more charge per
Yeah.
pound versus what
Yeah.
we have today.
Well, I think the basic difference, if I read it right, is that we're currently using what is basically a liquid electrolyte in the batteries in order to move the charge between the two sides of the battery, which is what lets it hold it.
Electrolyte. That's what plants
Yes.
crave.
But the problem with the liquid is it degrades quickly.
Yeah. It
And
degrades.
causes the parts on each side to degrade
Explosions.
quickly. But with this,
Which also creates heat
Right.
yes.
with the degradation.
Yeah. But with this, it's actually a solid element that they've put between the two. So it has a much more controlled and efficient manner for transferring the electricity through it. It's like it would you
like
say it's the
magic.
difference between Wi-Fi and having a hardwired connection basically
Right.
Yes.
on your computer? Yeah.
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 Have you seen when you get to the end of the life cycle of a rechargeable,
Oh yeah.
they turn into goo. It's
Yeah.
like this little. It's like a little pillow, and don't get it on you.
And
'cause
when-
it's not good.
Yeah,
When
really.
most like the flat batteries, like in your phone or other
Cameras.
devices, cameras,
Yeah.
your laptops, those will swell because they become gaseous inside.
Oh yeah.
I had a
From the
I had a Mac,
Yep.
an old PowerBook, that I never unplugged it. It was constantly being charged.
Yeah.
And I know that's bad for it, but it was just it sat there and worked. That's all it did. I came in one day and the thing was jacked up because it had swelled up so bad
Pop
that
the case. Yeah.
it knocked the battery cover off and was just sitting there. And I'm thinking, going, that thing could have exploded.
No, you think that's bad?
We got another one. Here we go.
had somebody come in with a MacBook Air, right?
Right.
So swelled up that it looked like Saturn. You know, it was like a big ball in the middle, and it was just a flat discus. And because it's all aluminum and it's the one piece
just all-
design, it just swelled it, and you could sit the laptop on the counter and just rock it back and forth. You know, it was like, ooh. I'm like,
Take it out in
"What
the woods
the-"
and shoot it and watch
Oh,
what happens.
I'm like, get that, go,
much fun.
okay, go. I don't want that in my store. No.
yeah. We're not a bomb disposal.
Yeah,
place, you know.
'cause literally that's what it is. You
That
take
it-
one screw off, and that thing's like, ding.
Yep.
You know,
and
it's-
those will explode.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's.
And I will tell you, I'll tell you these, especially with the new Macs, you know, where they glue the batteries in place,
Oh,
which I
God.
don't know why Apple doesn't have the release tabs, but it is neither here nor there. But so many people try to change those batteries out, and if you do it wrong, you can stab through the battery
rupture the
and
battery.
short it out, and that lithium will burn hot enough to melt
Yeah.
the case of that laptop, and you will not put that fire out.
It's like when the Teslas blow
No, it's
up.
like magnesium. Yeah.
It just goes and it
Just
goes.
go.
You got to
Get
let
about
it
it.
just burn itself out.
You know,
which is, you know, and I was. So let's jump to now that we're talking about that.
And now-
We're gonna
yeah,
we're
let's get to
gonna
that.
jump to 5
we're
ways.
talking about burning.
5 ways you're ruining your expensive phone, laptop, tablet, and TV. TV's the one that got me. Right. That's what drew me in. Right. So, number 1, you're charging too much.
I do that.
Charging it,
Yeah.
not your TV.
I do that
No, not your TV.
constantly.
No, this is
And-
Apple's like when you plug in your when you keep your phone plugged in all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Apple says when your iPhone remains at full charge in a prolonged period of time, battery health can be affected.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Apple has a great way of monitoring its charging, especially it starts learning
Right.
as you're charging it in the evening. And for instance, it'll get to 75%, and then it'll just hang out and say, "Hey, it's a little late tonight. You must be getting ready to go to bed. So we'll finish charging later this evening."
Right.
You know, at 3 a.m.
Yeah, right.
So they'll cut that down
Right.
so that way your device, because they know soon after that you'll wake up in the morning and pick it up again. So they have a smart charging capability.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Hawaii says that keeping your battery level close to like 30 to 70% as much as possible can actually prolong the battery life.
Oh yes,
Yep.
yes.
Like my cameras, right, in studio that are battery, those batteries only have so many charge cycles. Then after that, they're done.
Right.
A lot of manufacturers will put in there that once the battery or your print cartridge
Yeah.
reaches a certain cycle, they will just stop working whether or not they are in good condition.
Yeah, there is a hack online that I can go
Yeah.
in there and I can reset the. You got to push so many times and blah 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 and do this and turn, and it'll actually reset it back to 0. But do you run the risk of those batteries
Right.
eventually exploding?
Right.
Because we
Right.
had one in the back that did.
Not-
I did it. I figured, well, but I'm cheap. I'll just try to get a little bit more life out of it. And about 4 months later, I came in on the charger and it was split apart.
John's like 10 years later.
Yeah, right. Gotta love SpongeBob.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I don't care. You wait too long to charge your laptop, which is a
yeah.
very big deal.
You stick it in the somebody sticks it in the closet. The battery, dies, and they
Right.
just put it away and forget about it and
Forget about it.
and just leave it sit there, and then you pull it out and they're like, oh, I got my laptop. Let's see if it works. And you plug it in and unplug
And it has a 30-minute charge.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
best rule of thumb on a laptop battery is to keep it at least 40% most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You periodically plug it in and make sure it gets up to a certain point, and then you can unplug it.
Because laptop batteries have a finite number of charge and discharge cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So, not infinite, finite.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
All right. So you go with the cheapest option. I've done this.
In
I
electronics,
am so guilty of this. So your original Apple
Charge
charging
cords.
cable, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
The ones that
God, I
split
forgot it. Well,
constantly.
I'm at Wawa, and I'm like, I need a cable. So I grab a cable. Wrong thing to do.
Very wrong thing to do.
Why?
Because it's first off, a lot of these cables also have they have sensors in them,
Yes.
and
To- To say, hey, we're going to do this
yeah,
later.
Yeah, to monitor the charge cycles.
Yep.
Also for detecting the product that's to find out whether or not it's a legit product and stuff too. Apple also owns the license for the Lightning adapter. Why do you think they haven't switched over to USB-C
Right.
as quickly? I mean, you're technically giving up your own product. Now they have to pay the USB Alliance for the rights to
For
use
USB-C,
USB-C,
Which
It's
is
a
only,
licensing.
for Apple, it's only right now, it's only on some of the iPads.
Yeah, and the same. It's going to happen eventually, only because it is a really good connection.
It's a good
connector.
connection, yeah.
I will say that a lot of the circuits do have a lot of issues, especially like on the Macs. The one they had the USB-C, they would fail prematurely. I think that's why Apple went back to the MagSafe,
Oh,
because they would just stop charging, literally.
right. Just, okay, no more. So the next one is you're careless. Which I
yeah.
get this one, right?
Yeah, so do I.
Phones are rugged. They are. They're not
Right.
super fragile.
Any device.
But you don't leave them in a hot car.
Why not?
Well, okay, so I had a client.
Don't leave them in the sunshine at the beach.
I had a client literally that when she'd get in her car, she would put in her car, she had this little
Yeah.
area on her dashboard. She'd just throw it up there, thinking, it's going to connect to my phone or my radio and blah, 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 right?
Phones are beep.
Well, what happens? Driving down the road or parked in a car, that sun is just cooking that
Yeah.
thing.
Yep.
And couldn't understand. She goes, I always get these black screens for no reason. And I looked at her and I went, you're leaving. Where do you put your phone when you get in your vehicle? She goes, what does that have to do? Is it in your purse? Is it in your center console? Do you have a mount or do you put it up on the dashboard or something like that? She goes, oh, I have this little thing up the dashboard, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, because the sun is cooking it.
Yeah.
Literally cooking it.
Yeah, and that kills your battery.
Right.
That's what a lot of people think. Oh, it's just bad for the screen. No, it prematurely ages
Well,
your battery.
it'll actually make it overheat.
Yeah.
And it'll expand it and start leaking goo
Yep.
that you don't want it to be leaking goo, right?
Yeah,
There's that
and
battery thing again.
Yeah, and luckily Apple will say, there's temperature warning.
Right.
They'll pop up.
And then don't leave it in the freezing cold.
Same
No,
thing.
It's same thing.
Yeah.
It's horrible for it.
Extreme temperatures on batteries are the worst.
Yep.
And the last thing here is you're a slob. This, I look at some people's phone going, I would never touch that.
The phone. You should see some of
Ever.
the laptops.
Well,
I've
yeah, I
seen.
know I would.
Yeah,
never
well,
touch it. See, I don't know
yeah.
why you
When
do
you
that.
open a laptop and it goes,
Yeah. Dust and dirt's worst thing. Same with your
Yep.
TVs and other expenses. So this is what this article says. You need to always need to keep compressed air so you can blow out all the little
Yep.
nooks and crannies
and all the cookies.
and all the cookies. Wrong cookies. Isopropyl alcohol. They keep it clean,
Yep.
front and back. By the
to
way,
a degree,
Yeah.
I will tell you
Don't
right
put it
now.
inside
Don't go cleaning your keyboard with isopropyl alcohol. You risk your keys to stop responding and
yes,
working
because it eats up
And-
the goo.
Yeah, you will short
stuff.
it out, and you will not be able to use your keyboard anymore.
So if you don't want
We'll
to
see you soon.
If you don't want to mess with alcohol, use cleaning wipes.
Yeah.
But even then, I just get
Very light.
very light.
Not, if they're very, just not even damp. I
Right.
mean, just.
Don't, in other words, don't push so hard that the liquid comes out of the,
Yes,
out
and
of
that's
the cleaning
what
white and goes into
that
the
is
keyboard.
exactly what
Yes.
I use microfiber cloths and just a very light amount of water, and I don't know about purified bottled water, but I just use water and wring it out to the point where it almost feels like it's just barely wet. Then I just clean everything off, including my screen.
Yeah.
Make sure you roll that microfiber through some sand and
Yeah.
then rub it on that screen.
That's
Yeah.
job
And
security.
make sure it's distilled water is really the key.
And
because
don't use
you
cleaning
can't have any minerals in it.
Don't use cleaning solutions
No.
on your televisions
No.
or your screens, especially your laptop screens. Just super light, damp 3M cloth. All you got to have. It'll get rid of everything, and it'll keep it longer.
Plus, if you put anything on an Apple screen, you just keep getting smudges no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. It's awful.
like
it does not matter.
It's like the magic smudge machine. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it beyond smudges, it's like, I'll come back, it'll be clean. I'll come back in, I'm like, oh, I must have sneezed in the room somewhere because look, there's spots all over the damn screen again.
And then the minute he takes a nice lint-free cleaning cloth and he goes over it, it smudges the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is going on? It
Yeah,
looks
exactly.
like oil.
It's a no-win
so
scenario.
we don't have any really time to get into the likes when I was going to talk about Russian threatens to nationalize Apple and seize their assets. Yeah, good.
Okay,
Yeah.
you took our building. You can't get our product.
Yeah. Well, they're going to take all the product in the building, is what they're
I
going
bet, I
for.
bet
Until it's
Apple.
done.
I bet Apple has a self-destruct button in there.
Dude, I could see it.
I'm telling you, I guarantee you, we'll just push the Apple button instead of the red button. It's gone. You don't get nothing.
It's all serial number driven.
Steve Jobs
It won't be able to log into the network.
Steve Jobs created this room and this
Right?
button that never been used, and it's like every country. Yes, it's time to go hit Russia.
Or like remember the Kingsman where they had the chip in there that they could when you reversed it, it blew people's head off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the phone. It just goes. There you go. Anyway, so hey, look, you got any questions? You want to yell at us, or you want to yell at him for saying something? I don't care. Tech Shamans at WeBeamTV.com. So he won't be here next week because he's cruising. It'll be me and Anthony. Me and Anthony will take care of you. We'll have some good stuff. Me and Anthony.
You bet we will.
Yep. All right, everybody.
Thank you for watching.
Absolutely.
Very much so. Look forward to seeing you next week, and have a great week.
Have a techie week. We'll see you
Have a
next
techie
week.
week.
Bye bye.
We got the plans cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Oh, it's so, yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.